everything we thought we...
Right.
Well...
But if ever...
No.
Really?
Make one.
Continua come stanno lì.
Oh,
I
know.
What do you think?
On some level, but if that... As for...
How so?
Coexist in my... So...
You kept it pretty...
You mean about the... But...
I know... And...
Even just among... I think if we...
Well, for...
Yeah.
It's no...
Right. In a worst case...
And we all have to...
That's an...
It's true. It won't be achieved, but I think it... And now...
You both...
How are you,
Yeah. But I was... Danon's...
It wouldn't...
Yeah. But even... So I...
Ran well.
That great... Dana's...
Now that you...
Maybe...
We will... You're not the only one. Did you forget what...
It was
Yeah? Law.
I was too... That... But all this...
I know this...
Oh?
I used... And when I... But that's...
In other words...
The thing that... All I want...
Not every...
Huh?
It's some... Law. Forget all...
Yeah. I'll fight... I apologize.
You mean hearing...
Indeed.
Even I'm...
Let's not delude ourselves. I can only imagine.
That's just...
Well, to say the least.
When you say the...
Correct. Putting aside the...
So...
And at the same... There is, after all, and the victims of our rule.
I didn't...
Menancius, there had been back...
But things can...
Indeed. On that note...
Oh?
I wish for you to... As the one and...
And I take...
Yes. However... Is it too...
No.
You're too...
That's...
Then I'll ask...
You
don't... Thank you.
Well...
What about you?
To be honest, right now...
How do you mean?
Because for a really... I thought I'd die I would have... It's been going... It was how it fell on...
I don't think... She... I don't think she When we were talking... She said... That means...
Forget...
Yeah. If we have...
You know?
It's not going... But if we... I'm there... I think that's the very...
Yeah.
Well, there's...
Yes, I...
Ok, anche queste parlate sono state fatte.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to... I don't care who we're up against.
What are your thoughts, Alphen?
Like Law said, it's trying to rob us of our entire... That alone, But it's not only that.
You're saying there's a chance? You're referring to the vision of destruction?
Yeah. And to hear Shion?
Indeed. And if Rena's great spirit...
Shion's thorns are the great...
We don't know anything for certain.
While the main body resides...
Shion,
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then...
The question is, how do we suffice it to say? That flower growing, the wedge and Lenegis were both hard, and we only know about...
Hevric-35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it had...
Ok.
Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric-35 our answer.
So if the
Even with the...
First they... More importantly...
I just hope.
Worst comes...
Wait, in any case...
Right.
Questa cosa mi mancava, andiamo a vedere cosa c'è nel livello superiore. Ma quello mi mancava. E tutto lo spazio.
Have your answer for me.
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout it. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most. Therefore, if you...
And how are we supposed to
By
decide?
using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the... Using their powers, the
Hold on.
Yeah, killing her...
she was actually right.
By my calculations, your powers
What will happen to the maiden once we...
any matter contained within the field.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider
You
alternatives.
don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die. That we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis.
That part inside the maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive it. So long as it remains, that is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished. Without the maiden's direct...
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renus Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renus Alma is...
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine considering that the Renus Alma was previously lost.
What does that mean for...
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why, you?
Fine, then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we want to stop Dana from... If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch it...
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renus Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well...
But what are we supposed to do about the Renus Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renus Alma...
So our only option...
According to my observations, the...
So right in the middle of that giant flower then.
I have one more question.
You've said
What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit,
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it,
likely the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all
Man, I wish that thing had
Have Rec 35 and fix our starship.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. Remember that.
It matters little to me. Repair work on your finished.
Ok,
Man,
la
is it
verità.
too much to ask for Hevrick 35 to talk like a normal person?
Is the Renaissance
Shion, couldn't we?
I'm not
back in collapse?
except beside.
Hevrick?
You're...
Dai, prosegui. Questo tempo tempo, Natale vi consiglio di andare a riposare. Proviamo.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renan?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time.
But you still intend to confront this truth head on, don't you?
Well, even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renan.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an up. Thanks to your reforms, we were, of course, I'm sure. But we knew that not all of you were like that. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, but as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying. Realistically speaking,
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society...
so you wish for people to form...
Yes, I do. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do.
You'll always have... Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always dough.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as...
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down... Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here?
So I wanted to apologize.
Apologize?
I was being real. I get why you're so.
No, Law. Of course you were worried.
But you
Yeah, but I think I also want to
believe?
Remember how I used to read
Yeah, of course.
when we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided it was the first time. Then, when I felt Dana's will, it made me want to believe.
So that's why you.
Yeah,
Well, all right. Then I promise I'll lay off bad.
you will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trusted Rinwell, and that.
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You. What?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it does, but I think that's how...
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said,
Yeah.
Effort 35, but... So thanks, Rinwell. To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest? Same as you, still.
Remember when it was so simple?
Ages and ages ago.
If I hadn't run into you that day, I wouldn't have my memories back. It's...
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect-85 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma, but it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious.
Listen, the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it. But I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared.
Okay, but you should know that I'm not going to give up on... I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen, okay. I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake, but when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it ever.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?